if you want to know the brutal truth of how YouTube actually works, most people think we make a video live and YouTube pushes out that video. YouTube does no such thing. How do they know where one video is better than another? It's not your channel. It's not how much you love it. You know what they don't have?
Liron Segev, welcome to Brimming with Wisdom. I've got a strong cup of Ethiopian this morning, and honestly, you're going to need something strong for today's topic because I want to hear the real brutal truth about growing on YouTube, even when your niche appears packed or is just too boring.
I think it's my third cup of coffee this stage, so I'm ready to go.
I've heard you say that creators are often unsuccessful because they really haven't learned YouTube's rules, and that's the real reason some channels grow and others never get any traction. Are there rules, and are they constant?
It boils down to a simple thing. And this is, if you want to know the brutal truth of how YouTube actually works, it's very simple. It's just about the viewer. That's it. It's not your channel. It's not how much you love it. It's not how exciting it is. It's just about the viewer. Nobody knows the viewer like the platforms do. So what typically happens is you would log onto YouTube, you would open up your home tab, and guess what you're going to see? You're going to see videos that YouTube thinks you're likely to watch, you're likely to engage with, the stuff that appeals to you. And that is why small channels with 0 subscribers, have just as much opportunity as channels with 1 million subscribers, because you are feeding the viewer. And all YouTube cares about is, hey, can we get this person to actually click and watch a video? That's all they care about. They're trying to predict things that you would like. As a creator ourselves on this side of the camera, that's all we've got to bear in mind. Who is my audience? Is this topic relevant to them? Will they watch this video? As soon as you kind of adhere to those rules, you're going to be fine. You're just trying to satisfy the viewer. Satisfy them. Make sure they're happy with your content. You're delivering value. Let YouTube algorithms and take care of the rest. Stop trying to hack the algorithms. None of us are smarter than the algorithms, plural. Lots of algorithms, lots of AI networks, neural networks working together. We're just not that smart. I'm sorry. Satisfy the viewer. That's the rule.
Okay, that sounds easy, satisfy the viewer. But of course, this YouTube video is going to go up shortly. And how am I going to know that I satisfied the video when I'm editing it? What is, it's one thing to put it out there, but I want to figure this out before I post it and figure out the hard way.
Always keep the viewer in mind. And what that means is you really, really, really got to understand the viewer. Most people, if I say to you, hey, who watches your YouTube channel, they'll tell me it's male or female, this is their ages, they speak English mostly because the English channels is what we have, and they live in the US, that kind of stuff. That's the demographics. Super interesting, not deep enough. We got to flip the switch and go to the psychographics. What are they into? What are their pain points? What do they watch? What do they consume? How long do they have time to consume content? Is it long form? Is it short form? Do they have a half an hour lunch break and that's when they get to relax? Or do they have 3 or 4 hours a day because they're working from home and they'll watch content whilst waiting in the carpool line to pick up the kids? All of that makes a huge difference in everything that we do. If I'm making a video and I know my person only has 10 minutes a day to consume something, I'll make shorts. I'll make really short videos. If I know that they have a couple of hours, they love this kind of topic, then I don't mind going longer. It's about understanding. And if you don't understand who the viewer is, how could you possibly, number one, know what video to make? And number two, when it comes to your editing, to answer your question, well, how do you know? Do you cut stuff out? Do you leave stuff in? If my audience is very chilled and very relaxed, they don't mind the odd swear word here and there, and they don't mind that the stuff that we talk about random things because I'm just part of their day. That's very different to someone who goes, okay, I just need the answer. My toilet is leaking. Help me fix my toilet. Like, I don't care about your Starbucks. Okay? If you don't understand who you're making content for, really understand the psychographics of that viewer, it's just very difficult to win the game.
But I can intend on having an audience that I think, but there's really the real audience that watches it. And I've learned that from previous videos. It was a different audience. It was actually a different country. How do I know that so I can really understand that better?
We're talking about understanding your own content is at the end of the day. Once you put it out, yes, of course, it's up to the algorithm gods to kind of land it where it's supposed to be. But the way that it works versus the way that we think it works is two different things. And most people think we make a video live and YouTube pushes out that video. YouTube does no such thing. It's a pull mechanism. YouTube says, oh, this is the viewer. They're currently searching for this kind of stuff. They're interested in whatever it may be. And then it finds and filters content that they think that that viewer is likely to click on. Now, how do they know where one video is better than another? Well, they watch the video. And what I mean by that is YouTube can transcribe all, I mean, we've seen this with AI, but YouTube has been doing it forever now, where they transcribe the video. So they know the length of the video, they know how it looks, they understand the context of the video. You know what they don't have is quality. They don't know if it's good information or bad information. So once your video goes live, YouTube looks for, I think it's 80 billion signals, I think with a B. And those signals are things like, do people watch? Are they fast forwarding? Are they rewinding? Are they hitting the thumbs up button, thumbs down button? Are they leaving comments? Are they sharing? All of those things are leading up to the satisfaction value, and especially the watch time. Are they watching very quickly, first 3 seconds and leaving? Well, that sends a very bad signal and says, hey, maybe this is clickbait. Maybe it was a great thumbnail and a great title, and once they started watching the video, it wasn't that. So they left. That's bad. Now, if you get good signals, because people are watching longer, they're doing all the positive things, then YouTube says, oh, okay, I get it. This is this viewer with this persona. This is their characteristics. Let me go find other people who have the same characteristics and test this video and show it to them. Oh, look, they also watched. They also enjoyed it. They also left positive comments and engagement. Well, let me go to a bigger audience of the same caliber. Let me go to a bigger audience and a bigger audience. Now, that's how one video can have really good hit rate, or one video could have a terrible hit rate. I mean, it's one of the reasons, but the idea is you've got to satisfy that viewer. So when I think of a channel, I'm thinking of it very direct, very straightforward. I want to know my person. I understand that YouTube is going to test this against not the people that I need, but in my mind, if I'm aiming for one thing, that is what I'm going to carry on focusing on. And it's very important for people to understand that, we're talking about brutal truth here, people think that if you launch a video and it does badly, you launch another video and it does badly, whatever your version of badly is. And then people think that, oh, YouTube now looks at my channel, goes 3 or 4 videos have flopped, therefore, I'm not going to recommend this channel. We've been told repeatedly by the people that actually run the algorithms in the system that there is no channel-wide mechanism. In other words, every single video stands on its own 2 feet. Now, you can say, well, look, I've done this video again and again, similar content to a previous one that's done really well, but I'm being shadow banned, or YouTube is not showing that to my audience. What happens in reality is that people watch the video and they go, whatever. Then they watch another one and go, interesting topic. I kind of really didn't vibe with this. And therefore, when the 4th video, the 3rd video, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th video shows up on their homepage, they're probably not going to click. Nothing to do with the algorithm. It's got everything to do with the viewer satisfaction. They weren't satisfied with your first 2 videos. They didn't click. YouTube says, okay, well, let me try a different channel with a different video and see if I can get them to click. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I guess what I'm struggling with is I see that, their metrics are all bad. What I don't know is how I turn them around and be constructive to say, oh, I need to do more of this, less of that.
Sure. So okay, so let's troubleshoot, right? So if I ask you this question, and this is how I normally start, it's number one, how well do you know your viewer? And we said the demographics, the psychographics. Do you have that down?
Well, I think I do, but now I'm questioning everything.
As you should. I mean, if I show you my demographic, my avatar, I call it the IVP, the ideal viewer profile. When I look at that for my channel, I know that I have a picture for this person. I call him Alex. I mean, we go way deeper, but why that's important? Because when I start to make a video, I have an idea. I will literally look up in my wall, and it's behind this camera, and there's a dude on the wall, and I will say, hey, is Alex going to watch? If the answer is no, I don't care how good the idea is, I'm going to be attracting the wrong people. Therefore, I don't make that video.
Okay, so I got to cut you off here. So
yeah,
how did Alex get created? Did you figure out Alex because your videos helped paint a picture of Alex, or are you've decided who Alex is and his characteristics?
It's never reactive. It's always proactive. And I analyze my videos, my comments. I analyze the data in YouTube Studio. I look at the demographics that they show you, the ages, the location. I look at all of that. Coupled with, I do community posts and I constantly ask questions. I have all these data points that I'm trying to ingest, and then together I make up a picture and go, okay, my Alex is still there. Or, oh, it looks like my Alex is aging up. Do I want to keep it aged up, or do I want to refocus my attention and age it down? Because someone who is 70 plus, as a blanket statement, maybe it's not their top priority to go look at the latest Nintendo Switch gaming console. But someone who is younger, it probably is their intention. So it's never reactive. I would adjust and analyze the data and adjust accordingly, absolutely. But it's my home. I know who I want to open it up to, and I'm going to carry on doing that as much as possible, even though it may hurt me in the short run. But I know that once a video hits, people will typically watch more than one video if I'm doing my job right as a creator. If I'm telling them what's the next video to watch, they will go along for that journey. Instead of what most people do, at the end of their video, they go, hey, thanks for hanging out here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye. Well, you just left your poor audience member hanging. They've got follow-up questions. You didn't tell them where to go, and they left. Well, no wonder it's not growing.
Well, I love that analogy of your home. For you, those of you that are watching this, I don't know if I've heard of avatars and I've worked on avatars, but I've never heard them as your home. So if you've got a comment, put it down there. See if you've ever thought of your YouTube channel as being your home and your avatar being invited in. I love that. That is very insightful. And then you're using the metrics from the channel to kind of adjust how your avatar is changing, I guess, and how you want who you want to invite in the future, I guess.
Absolutely. The mistake that a lot of creators make is they may do this exercise and then never repeat it. But everything's fluid. The platforms are changing all the time. You've got to constantly adjust. We sit once every 2 weeks and we go through the stuff. I roll my eyes every single time without fail because I hate that stuff. But it's got to be done. And that means I can make 24 decisions a year compared to making one decision just before taxes are due when there's nothing I can do about it. So it's about understanding your viewer. Everything revolves around understanding that viewer. I just can't emphasize that enough.
Well, I love the home idea, because if you're inviting someone to your home, you want it to be attractive to them. You want them to stay. You want the food to be good. You are setting up a tone for the experience. But what about if I think my home or my channel is boring? You know, that it's just it's already too many people that have beautiful homes. They're more beautiful than mine. What's your take on that mindset? And are there really too boring a niche or too boring a home channel?
Okay, you're getting me like you're pushing all the buttons here. All right. So, firstly, we're not in high school, right? Literally nobody gives a shit about anybody else. You're worried about your pimple. Everybody's worried about their pimples too, right? We're fully developed grown adults. Let's act like fully developed grown adults. There is no boring. In fact, I will tell you that the most successful channels are the boring ones. Taxes, legal, real estate, coaching services. You would think like, why they don't even have a place on this platform? Nonsense. Of course they do. Why? Because you have knowledge. You have years of experience. You have experience in a very complicated topic. It's very simple. Here is something every single person can do right now. Now, I teach what I call the ICE framework. I is for impact. It's a kind of videos. C is for core. It's the core audience that you're speaking to. And E is for explain. And those are the explainer videos. I would tell every single person that's listening to this, watching this, if you're a business, go and write the top 10 questions that your customers are currently asking. Guess what you're going to do? Make 10 videos simply answering those questions because you're delivering value.
ICE is the antidote for boring?
Essentially, when you're saying your channel is boring or your topics are boring, it means you haven't understood how, number one, who's your avatar, who's your audience. Number two, you didn't understand how to connect with them. When I teach the ICE, I call it the ICE framework that I've developed. And in that ICE, so I is for impact. Those are the big videos, your origin stories, things of that nature. Most people just really focus on that. Hey, I'm starting a YouTube channel. Surely they want to know where I came from. No, they don't. They absolutely have zero urge to know where you came from. Number two is the C. C is the core videos. Those are basically when you take a topic and you dive deeper into that. And that's where people focus their attention as well. Why? Like if you're going to start talking about deep topics, I don't know who you are. I don't know if I can trust you. And we all follow the WIFM rule. What's in it for me? So when we focus on making explainer videos, literally answering people's questions that all businesses, all key creators know, if it doesn't even have to be a business. If you're a creator, you will know, okay, where was I 10 years ago in my so-called boring business? And what did I wish someone would have told me? If someone would have told me this 10 years ago, I would have been in a very different place today. Well, guess what? Someone is there 10 years ago. So why not offer them that advice? It's not boring. It's just not understanding who your audience is, making the right type of video. That's all. It's not that complicated.
So I bet there's somebody out there that thinks they're doing good explainer videos, and they're comparing themselves to some other channels, and they plateaued. They're kind of like, oh my gosh, I can't get more subscribers. The channel's not really growing. What is the difference between what I'm doing and what they're doing? Because they're so much more successful than me.
Okay, so look, I swear to you, you're definitely pushing all those buttons. Okay, you compare yourself to somebody else, please stop doing YouTube. Just get off the platform. There's no point. And I'm being like dead serious. I can tell you I've worked with thousands of channels. I've worked with channels that were identical on the front end. Two very similar, not even similar, identical channels. They talked about the latest phone. They talked about the latest gadget. He did one, she did one. He did one, she did one. It looks identical. But on the back end, completely different audience. So you're too busy comparing yourself to something that you have no idea what's going on in the back end. This particular case, that person spent thousands of dollars every month on YouTube ads driving traffic to their website or driving traffic to their channel, sorry. So now you don't know that. So now you're thinking, my videos are better.
Is there any way to know, that I can go look at their channel? Oh, they're running ads. No wonder.
I get the question. It's very difficult to know on the front end. The way you can kind of tell if a video has 100,000 views and 6 comments, odds are pretty good that they use some sort of YouTube advertising to drive to drive those views. So the point is, you go to a video, it's got hundreds of thousands of views, and 3 comments, 5 comments, 100 comments. You go, the ratio's up. It doesn't seem to make sense. It's got 5 thumbs up, and it's got 10,000 views. That's weird. So there's no way for you to know. So let's go back to your question. Number one, stop comparing, because just run your own race. It's irrelevant. You know what the saying goes, be yourself, everybody else is already taken. Okay? You're just going to deliver it in the way that you're going to deliver it. Now, what you should be doing, say, I'm doing it, it's plateaued, it's not getting any better. Well, reanalyze your audience. Has the landscape changed? Maybe there's more supply than there is demand at the moment. So right now, as a time of recording this, to talk about the stock market continuously and all that's happening, well, that's lots of demand, right? People are really interested in that topic. Make that video. Wait 2-3 days. There's going to be so many people making those videos, then the balance shifts again, right? Now I've already seen it. Now I understand how the market works. Do I have to watch it again? Well, probably not. So you got to understand the landscape that you're playing in. What is going on as a whole, generally over a bigger period of time? What's going on, and where do you fit into that ecosystem? You're never going to be. No, I shouldn't never say never. But the odds of you developing a brand new trend and jumping off it because you're a copyright attorney, pretty slim. Right? Yeah. But you could newsjack, you could take something that's going on, something that's trending, and you can say, how does this apply? So, you know, on the show, you're talking about people who are able to impart their wisdom for other people. Great. Take that knowledge and go, okay, what's actually going on right now? Let's talk about the stock market, which I know very little about, and say, okay, let me go find 2 or 3 people who are talking about the stock market. Let me get a 1-minute soundbite from each person, bring that into your show. You go on to ChatGTP, Gemini, Perplexity, any of those search engines, go, right, AI versus industry experts, which one is going to win? And you go make that video. So you've taken a trending topic, you've taken AI, which is super trendy, you're imparting wisdom, and say, okay, well, let's put this against a 40-year-old trader and see if AI predicts the same way. You know, that kind of thing. So, again, it's about understanding the viewer. That's the hill I'll die on. Understanding the viewer and understanding what they're into so that you can make that video. I know my Alex really doesn't care about the stock market. So this is not a topic for me. So I move on.
So if I've plateaued and I'm reviewing my avatar and I think I understand him, I mean, do you like trending topics, or are you SEO searching for your topics? Because I need to do 10 explainer videos. How do I pick which one of those 10 I should prioritize? And, you know, is it based on trends or my avatar or what?
It's always based on your avatar, number one. Number two, it's based on, if you're a business channel, it's based on, take those questions that those people are asking you. If you're not a business channel and you're an entertainment channel or a how-to channel, okay, what are the top 10 things that are currently exciting for me that I want to share with my friend Alex? That's the way I would approach it. So when it came to my channel is technology. Technology is too wide. There's too many things going on in technology. So you got a niche down. Cool. So then I started doing things to do with phones. Well, I realized that Alex has got a plethora of options to watch about the latest phone. And they're big names who are doing phone reviews. Why would I want to compete with that? It's a race to the bottom. Everybody else is going to release their content later. So I started doing things like, well, if I can't be first, I'm going to be bigger and better. What I mean by that, the people who talked about their first phone reviews, they said 5 camera things you need to know. I did 25 things. They did how to set up, which apps you should download. I did 45 apps everyone should download. So I'm giving because I'm late to the game, because I'm not first, my avatar, again, back to the viewer, my viewer probably has already bought the phone. Because originally, what's their intent is, do I want this phone, yes or no? But 3 months later, probably they already have the phone. So now, what are they looking for? How to optimize, how to get the most out of the phone. Great, let me play into that. So now start thinking, here's my avatar. They're in this mindset. They've got the device. They feel like it's the same as their previous phone. They kind of wasted a lot of money. Good. How can I help them? You've got to remember it's viewers only.
Yeah, so phones are a great example because it's such a huge area. So can you give an example of where you decided to do, 25 top tips on a phone, and then you considered another one and you decided no? And how did you decide?
Yeah, so I think you've got to experiment, right? This is it's an art as opposed to a science. So let me give you a failure, like a good example of a failure. I thought Alex, because he's got family, he's got kids, he may be interested in an electric bike, right? Because electric bikes are so good. It kind of makes sense in my brain. Alex is doing some research about fun activities to do. So I did a whole video about an electric bike. It flopped terribly because I went way off the guardrails. Alex is not really interested in electric. Alex's wife, maybe, the kids, maybe, but my Alex saw electric bike, saw how much it's going to cost. Forget it. That wasn't for them. So I experimented, and it didn't work out. Do you know what happened afterwards? Nothing. That's it. Because each video is standalone. So we're too busy afraid.
But you did learn your avatar is not into electric bikes.
Exactly. Now we're getting it. Okay, that's exactly right. We're so afraid to experiment because, oh my God, it's going to break the channel. Someone's going to watch it. Like, oh no. Well, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. So your channel is plateaued. So what are you going to do? Make more of the same. Okay. How? Well, we're not going anywhere. So now you experiment. You go a little bit left, a little bit right. Look, if you're giving financial advice, the next video shouldn't be a comedy skit, right? It's got to be to the same audience. You got to understand that audience. If you're a cooking channel, don't talk to me about travel unless you can make the travel part of the eating healthy whilst on a cruise. Oh, okay. I see how those two are related. Then maybe that you're now talking to your core audience, which is interested in food, and you're talking to a new audience, which is interested in cruising. Maybe you're going to draw some new audiences, some new attention. So it's about, guess what I'm going to say? It's about the viewer. Always about the viewer. You just got to remember where they are in that state of mind. And by making videos to serve that.
So I love that bike experiment. So that was one that crashed. But you learned, so you now know, boy, I'm not going there with my avatar. So that's an important thing to understand. So that's one side of experimentation. Can you give an example of an experiment that actually changed the direction of your channel or painted a new picture for your avatar?
Absolutely. So I was doing, on my channel, I did a lot of connectivity. Right? How to get faster Wi-Fi. That was like my main thing. And it happened during COVID, which basically meant people were stuck at home and they needed faster Wi-Fi. And then it gets to a point you go, well, how much more Wi-Fi stuff can I do? Let's be honest. Like it's interesting, but it's interesting to me as a tech nerd who does networking. Poor Alex doesn't want to see 4,000 more videos about Wi-Fi. So now I'm thinking, okay, what's related to Wi-Fi that could be interesting? Well, the next unsexy topic is security. And is it still related to connectivity? Yes, because when you connect, you need passwords, usernames, all of that. And I started playing down, so I did that video. Now, the way I experiment on my channel is that normally I do one video a week, so it's 4 videos a month. So I would do 4 videos. Now I'm thinking I've got an experiment coming up. Great. So the following month I will do 3 videos, my regular, and I would throw in 1 experimental video. Now, you cannot make a decision based on one video. So people do that. Oh my God, I normally get 50,000 views. This explainer video just got me 10,000 views. I'm going back to my tried and tested. Yeah, that's a panic reaction. You don't make a decision based on one variable. So now you make 3 more videos and another experimental videos in that same content genre. So for me, it was security. So I made another video about security. And then that started kind of getting some new attractions because my analytics told me, it wasn't a guess. Go into your analytics, go into your audience tab, and it tells you new viewer versus returning viewer. And I see that. I see that coming in. Okay, the following month, 2 videos on Wi-Fi, 2 videos on security. Oh, people are watching that video and they're going back and watching the older video. Great. Then it became through 1 video on Wi-Fi, 3 videos on security. So you kind of play that game of constantly trying to shift and understanding not to go too far away from your core, from your main audience, but have a wider appeal to people who are interested. So in my case, people who already bought their Wi-Fi router, never thought it, gave it a second thought until it breaks. Right? And so in which case, well, I've got to find something else that keeps a wider audience interested, and that was security. And then it became the channel about Wi-Fi and security. And then recently, I said, well, security is kind of like more people are getting onto security. So I started going back to basics of, well, I'm a Windows user. Windows has got lots of issues. Windows 10 is coming to end of life. What are people going to do? So I made that video, and that blew up. So now I'm thinking, now I go security, connectivity, Windows things. So I'm starting to kind of expand that audience so people who are not interested in Wi-Fi still are satisfied because they got something else to watch.
But you're saying it's important to experiment if you want to grow. Is that kind of an equivalency?
It has to be, because if you think about it, everything comes to an end. And let's look at the biggest creator that we tend to know, which is Mr. Beast. And we look on his channel, and he does a series of videos. Last to leave the circle, as an example. There's only so much he can do before the audience gets bored of it. So he's smart enough to go, you know what? This now is now done. I'm going to end on a high, and I'm going to create another series, which is giving strangers money. And he did that series. It's about, you get to a certain point where you go, it's done. But if you don't experiment, Jimmy could have done, Mr. Beast could have done, giving strangers money, or last to leave the circle, or extreme hide and go seek, $1 hotel versus $100,000 hotel. He's got all these series. He could run them technically forever, but he knows that the audience needs something fresh, something new to keep them coming. That's an entertainment channel. Let's switch it over to an information channel, a how-to channel. People still need that freshness. You have to experiment, otherwise it's just not going to go anywhere.
Which is plateauing. No experimenting, you're plateaued.
You're done. But it's not about you. It's about your customer. So people tell me like, oh, I hate TikTok. Like I would never let my kids on it. Okay. But if you have a business and you have a YouTube channel and you're trying to grow your business, or if you're a creator, you're trying to grow your creator channel, and your avatar is on TikTok, it doesn't matter what you feel about TikTok yourself, for your parents, for your kids. That's irrelevant. Your customer, your viewer is on TikTok. Well, take a clip and dump it on friggin' TikTok. Or don't, but then don't complain.
If I'm over 40 and I'm not sure I want to experiment and learn all that stuff, but I really want a YouTube channel and I feel like it's important, man. I'm too old maybe, or I'm not pretty enough, or my topic's too boring. You know, what do you tell, over 40 creators when they say, I'm just not sure I've got it for YouTube?
Yeah. All right. So I don't know if you can tell through the camera. I have this white, lovely beard. I've been there, done that. My channel has 1 million subscribers talking about the most boring, unsexy topic on the planet, Wi-Fi. Anybody woke up this morning saying, oh boy, I wonder if there's a firmware update to my Wi-Fi router. Oh, can't wait to check my email. Not once. There is a channel out there, and I forget the name, and all they talk about is motor oil. Motor oil geek guy or something like that. And all they do is talk about motor oil. Motor oil. It's just not cars and just motor oil. Arguably, not super exciting, but his entire channel doing that. There's a channel out there that there's a quilting, Missouri Quilts, I think it's called, Missouri something. Well, it's a quilting channel, quilting with your quilting stuff. And that's not exciting or boring, but yet with their channel, they have 5,000 plus orders a day from people around the world. They are set up in this little town called Hamilton, Missouri. They employ 400 people. They own multiple stores now, all because of their boring topic called quilting, and they made a tutorial video. That is after somebody said to them, hey, can you make a tutorial video? And she said, absolutely. What's a tutorial? Okay, so there's no boring. There is just more of saying, okay, and we talk about experimentation, we're talking about all that good stuff. If you take nothing away, if you ignore everything I've said, here's what you need to do. One, if you're over 40, especially if you're over 40, what are you good at? What is your passion? What have you been doing as your business career? What are people asking you all the time? What do you share with people? Somebody talks to you at a networking event or at a bar, a restaurant, and they tap you on the shoulder, oh, what do you do? I'm in finance. I am in insert topic here. Oh, I've got a question. That's where you start. Simply think about if you're creating a business channel, then simply do that. Just ask questions, therefore you deliver answers. Somebody asks you questions, you make a video, deliver the answer. The explain videos. All you do, and just do that. If you do nothing else, just do that. There's a great channel. He's an airline pilot, and there's no editing. All he does is takes his phone, literally in his hand, and he goes, hi, he's in his gear with like his stripes and the whole thing. And he goes, hey, have you wanted to know what the ding, ding, dings on the plane is? Well, as an airline pilot, I can tell you this is what it means. And then he stops recording and uploads it. Then he goes, hey, do you ever wanted to know why sometimes we park at the gate and sometimes you got to take a shuttle bus? Here is why. Da-da-da-da-da. Nothing super sexy about that either, but it works.
So if I'm not supposed to compare myself to other channels, and the metrics are hard to read, and they even change over time because my avatar changes. Mm-hmm. How do I know I've got a sustainable niche? What am I looking for?
What's sustainable for you may be different for me. So some people go in saying, hey, I want to create a hobby channel. I just want to have fun and upload. That's perfectly fine. That's not a failure. They're just having fun and sharing their information. Why would anybody dare call that a failure? That's awesome. You go. There are people who are sharing family recipes. I don't know your family, but the cooking looks awesome. I will try that. So just enjoy it. So when you're saying, how do I know it's successful? Well, if your metrics of success is, oh, I'm getting paid. Oh, I'm getting YouTube is paying me. Oh, I'm doing brand deals and sponsorships. That's very different to someone who's saying, I just want to tell my younger self these things so they don't make that mistake. Okay, then make those videos. But over time, what you'll see happening, especially with more AI and faceless channels, people want authenticity. They want to know the real person. They want to get that information. Because you can Google a lot of the stuff. You can AI a lot of the stuff. You don't have to be on YouTube to get it. So why do people still come to YouTube? Because they want to connect. So make that. Just make that connection. When you're talking about success and metrics and the data and the numbers, yes, if you've got a big channel, the data tells a very good story. Understand how to do that. If you're just starting out or you're trying to figure it out, figure out your avatar, the rest will come. But what people don't do is they look at the numbers and they go, oh my God, another 10 out of 10, which in YouTube terms, just to be clear, is bad because it means your video performs the worst. You look at you and go, oh, the numbers are down, the numbers are down, the numbers are down. And what do? Make another video about the same thing, making the same mistake. As opposed to saying, okay, stop. What do I need to focus on? How well do I know my audience? Let me fix that first. And then say, oh, those are the videos that my audience wants to see.
So when somebody comes up to you and they say, I want to start a YouTube channel, but I think I'm too old. I'm not sure I can figure it all out, but I just feel compelled to do it. What do you tell them?
Do it. What's stopping you? But literally, if we have a real conversation, what is stopping you from pressing record with your phone, no fancy gear, and saying, hey, I'm super passionate about this topic. I'm just going to share what I've done. If people watch, watch. If they don't watch, they don't watch. I don't care. I just feel compelled I need to do it. Awesome. Let's do one right now. What's stopping you? What you'll find is people say this, but what they mean is a little bit different. I'm too old. I'm too fat. My hair's not the right color. I don't have any hair. Like, I'm not pretty enough. All of that good stuff. That's what's really holding them back. It's not metrics and it's too complicated. When all push comes to shove, make that video. And who cares about anybody else? How does it go? If you want bad advice, ask everyone. You're just making content that you want to make. Well, make it. And then over time, you'll figure it out because you'll say, hey, when I make this type of content, I'm really enjoying it compared to that kind of content which I'm making. And look at the views. You'll probably see that the views are higher on a video that you really enjoy versus a video that you felt compelled to, oh, God, I've got to make a video. Don't miss my upload schedule. I upload every Saturday. It's Friday night. I got to do something. And the results tell the tale. Just start, because you don't have a clue how good, how bad, how difficult, how easy, how exciting, how boring it is until you've done it. My pet hate with the YouTube teaching industry is that you get people with virtually no experience. They've figured something out, and they go and they sell these $10,000 courses on get $100,000 in 30 days. That's just nonsense. If you're over 40, I promise you, you have life experience. What life experience does somebody who's 21 has? With respect, it's a different world. Zero responsibility, living at home. Oh, well, you got to you got to hustle. You got to spend 18 hours a day hustling and going out to trade meets and like swapping Pokemon cards. I get it, and it's awesome if you're 21. When you're older than that and you have a job and you have responsibilities and you have these things called bills, all of a sudden it takes a different turn. So stop listening to them. Just go and make the videos you want to make and forget everybody else. And when I say run your own race, that's what I'm talking about. Make stuff that's super exciting for you, and then you'll see it will come. And then you'll either dig it and you'll go, oh, yes, I love it. I want to make more of it. Or you go, it was awesome. I tried. I'm going to go back to LinkedIn writing blog post. Perfect. Nothing wrong with that at all. Simple as that.
So don't let our age stop us or our looks. Don't or build that avatar, craft that avatar and understand the avatar changes over time. And the only way we know they change is with experimenting. And then we can kind of equate our channel to our home. Is it inviting? Is it what our avatar wants to sit down and watch for a while? Is that kind of bringing it all to a home?
Absolutely. If I'm having people over for dinner, do I just serve whatever the hell I think I want to serve? Or do I, hey, anyone got any allergies? Yeah. Oh, anyone got like specific dietary requirements? Oh, okay, cool. All right, so we want 2 people, vegan. Okay, cool. Let's and I can make a menu of that. But if I choose just to do what I want to do and ignore everybody else because next door's got a beautiful home, it doesn't matter. They're not going next door. They're coming to you. Well, then treat them with that respect. They're coming into your home. They're going to treat you with that respect. And then magic happens. But again, it's the overthinking. It's not the good looking versus bad looking. It's the age, old versus young. That's not what's killing it. What's killing it is in our heads. It's overthinking. Perfection, perfection, perfection. Until it's perfect, I don't want anybody to see it. It's embarrassing. If we can just get over that, the rest is just so simple. But it's all up here. It's not age, looks, height, weight, sex, religion. All of that stuff is just nonsense.
Well, Liron, probably you're out of coffee at this point.
Way out.
And way out. Okay. So how can people get in touch with you? How's the best way for them to follow up if they've got some questions?
Best thing is on LinkedIn. I'm really active there. I'm posting a lot about YouTube strategies and what's going on. Record a lot of my consulting calls, and obviously without revealing confidential information, but just taking sound bites out of that. So there's a lot of YouTube growth stuff that's happening on LinkedIn. I'm really focusing on that because we have to be making content. You want to check out my channel about security, super sexy stuff, I'm warning you. If you're going to check that out, it's just my name on YouTube. I'm sure there'll be some links. But the YouTube growth stuff, LinkedIn is probably the best place.
And for those of you watching, if you found this discussion entertaining and interesting, let me know your thoughts about what you think about your avatar. Have you made an avatar? What do you think about the analogy of your home being your channel? And what do you think about experimenting? How about putting it right there in the comments? And if you have time and liked it, please consider subscribing. Liron, thank you so much. This was fantastic again. I think my head's exploding, but I want to go back through it again. So thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me on. It's my mission to make sure as many people stop overthinking and just get creating. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Cheers, my friend.